Hi there, welcome to I Long Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Taurus energy. For this round of 12 zodiac sign readings, I'm using the Intuit Oracle 2nd edition. Got it off their Etsy shop. I'm going to get some of these cards out, get some clarifiers on it to fill out the story of what might be going on in Taurus energy. And we're going to see how different people would have handled this energy depending on if they harness high vibe Taurus energy or low vibe Taurus energy. People who harness high vibe Taurus energy are people who walk the talk. They're loyal, dedicated, committed, hardworking. They treat themselves with love and respect. They offer love and respect to other people. If other people want to reciprocate that, great, they can work with them. If they don't, they wish them peace and they move on. And people who harness shadowy Taurus energy try to create the illusion that they're loyal and dedicated and all those good things, but it's more just an illusion. The underlying reason for them making decisions in their life is more about pride, ego, image, money, materialism. They'll create an illusion of being a just and fair and committed person in a relationship so long as it works for them. But if the people they're in a relationship with want them to be more open, honest, loving, just, fair, to mature themselves and grow up, then this person will be willing to leave the relationship because love never was the reason for them being in it, sadly. They've either been hurt before, so they operate from pride and ego and emotional defensiveness, or they're just prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy people. So we're going to see what's going on here. The one clarifier for the reason for the reading is the lion, which is Leo energy, pride and ego. And then we have the book, the dog, the bear, the ball and chain, and the Milky Way. Well, people that are in high vibe Leo energy and high vibe Taurus energy, those people are emotionally brave and strong where they don't operate from their pride and ego. They've learned lessons in life. The other people have some lessons yet to learn that, if you make your life about money and materialism and status and image, well, you must not know your own worth and value if you think that's what makes you, that's the true essence of your worth and value, and, life's about love. It's about looking at life as an adventure to be lived. High vibe people have gained insight and understanding. They know that the divine is kind of like, and hope and faith and belief in themselves and their dreams is what's going to bring their dreams into reality. Because the things of the world can get taken away like that. Well, if you've made your whole life about my bank account, what I wear, what I drive, blah, 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 and those things get taken away, are you suddenly worth nothing? Well, some people, if that happens, they feel that way. They don't have a strong emotional foundation of believing they're worth more than those things. It can be devastating. It's just like, well, we won't go there, but. So, yeah. The reason for the reading is lion energy, majestic authority, esteem, pride, ego, overcoming difficulties, fair and just, devoted, heart-centered. That's like high vibe Leo energy. Or we can operate more from our mind than our heart. We can either see the truth and not be in illusions about life and this world and know that the most important thing is to make decisions in our life based on love and respect for ourselves and treating the other people in our life with love and respect. Or we can live in illusion and in denial and think that no, I don't have to be open and honest and loving. I can get what I want, I think, going about things my own way and being emotionally manipulative and prideful and egotistical and living more from my mind than my heart. So people either in their Taurus energy of their underlying, Taurus energy is also about commitments and relationships and marriages. How do we view those? We can either view those relationships from love and justice, balancing our mind and our heart, balancing our more beastly nature of my wants, my lusts, my greed, my selfishness, all about me, 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 me. And we can offset it with being just and fair and loving and loyal and committed. We kind of offset our beastly nature with our divine, attaining to live life from a higher level than beastliness. What do we think is just and fair? Is it just and fair to be balanced between our heart and our mind? Or is it just and fair to be prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, and more aligned with our mind than our heart in our Libra energy? Which one is it? So, in the book card, we have, the Leo Strength card, the Leo Taurus Empress card, the Two of Swords Libra card, High Priestess Cancer Pisces, Three of Wands Aries, and Judgment card. I think for some of you, you could have been dealing with someone who kind of harnessed shadowy Empress energy, shadowy Libra Taurus energy. They think it's just and fair to be selfish and greedy, be the pampered person in the relationship, male or female. Everybody orients around them, their wants, their lusts, their greed, their immaturity, whatever. Or they're very materialistically focused. And you turn your back on them. You tempered your pride and ego and were strong to hold this person accountable for their actions. Because that person, in their shadowy, prideful, egotistical, kind of selfish, greedy nature, they didn't want to listen to their intuition. They wanted to be in denial of the truth with the blindfold on. They hide in the High Priestess energy what their dream is, of how they expect their dreams to come into reality. They think their dreams will come into reality being prideful, egotistical, secretive, selfish, greedy. And they could have gotten in a relationship with you, maybe you're a Leo. They could have gotten in a relationship with you, hiding the fact that this is how they expect their dreams to come into reality. Oh, I'm kind of self-centered. I'm kind of selfish. I'm kind of greedy. You know, I kind of like to be the pampered person in a relationship. Oh, I like to be in relationships and make it all about me, my pride, my ego, my image, and focus on money and materialism instead of love. Oh, did I not? Did I mislead you? Did I create an illusion that I was just and fair and bold and strong? Oops, no. As time went by, we have the book, Memory, Hidden, Mysteries, Secrets, the Unknown, Philosophy, Intellect, Knowledge, Education, Manuscripts, author. Over time, dealing with this person, you realize that this person doesn't want to see the truth, that relationships are about being open and honest and loving and just and fair and treating other people the way they like to be treated. They like the scales tipped in their favor, and they like people to be strong and just indulge them being kind of self-centered or selfish or stubborn or greedy. And so because of that, you called judgment on this person. With the dog, I would say your loyal friend was the divine. The sun energy is like life-giving energy. And Three of Cups is Cancer energy, about love and home and family and self-love. And even though you could be a very loyal, committed, dedicated person, you know, light was shed that this other person maybe uses their emotions in a relationship in a manipulative way. That would be shadowy Cancer energy. You harnessed high vibe Leo Cancer energy, and they harness shadowy Cancer Leo energy. Out of pride and ego, they use their emotions in a manipulative manner because they're not balanced within themselves. They have let their fear, their insecurity, their pride, their ego, their selfishness, their greed prevent them from being aligned with love so that they can be open and honest and just and fair and reciprocal with loving people in their world. They've let the devil whispering on their shoulder get in their ear and tell them, you don't have to be open and honest and loving and committed and treat other people the way you want to be treated. I think you can emotionally manipulate people in a relationship to get them to do what you want. Be in your pride and ego. So things were illuminated too that this person was emotionally manipulative. And the bear energy also can be about love energy and, mothering yourself. And you decided to learn the lesson you're meant from having been in a relationship with someone like this and to look to the future, and because we all come into contact with all these different people in our life, and I think part of the point is to realize that, that's why I have these mirrors out here. If you're a loving, committed, dedicated, treat other people as you want to be treated, you look out to the world and you think other people are like you, but they're not. They view life differently. And the whole thing is to see through our illusions that we had of people, that some people aren't loving, they're not kind, they're not just, they're not fair, they're selfish, they're greedy. And are we going to see the truth of it, or in our pride and ego and our illusion be in denial and like, no, I know God, they did this, I know they did that, but no, I can see who they could become or whatever. And the divine's like, I've shown you the truth. You have the free will to be in denial of the truth if you want, but you'd be living in illusion just like they are. Do you want to have hope and faith and belief that I have a plan for your life, that I want to bring it into reality? But in order to bring it into reality, you have to learn your lessons about these people and not be an illusion about them, and keep investing your time, energy, and effort to keep moving forward, invested in the truth. Why are these other people like this? I don't know. Maybe either they're just selfish and greedy and full of themselves, maybe because they've been treated that way all their life, or maybe they've been hurt and it kicked them up into pride and ego and emotional defensiveness. And if you show them how you can overcome it, you could be like a guiding light to people of like, I'm going to live my life. Yes, I know how much you backstabbed and betrayed me, but I'm not letting it keep me in negative energy and jealousy and envy and emotional defensiveness and being emotionally manipulative in my next relationship. I'm not going to live my life the way you do. I'm going to keep being open and honest because I believe in my dreams. Are you going to keep living your life that way, or are you going to follow my lead? If people keep indulging people like this, they have no incentive to change. So the divine is saying, move forward in truth. Maybe, again, by you living your life and not tolerating injustice in your life, and you're willing to start fresh and new and believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, you are offering resources to these people who are enslaved. They basically they're either letting their ego run their life, not love. They're either letting pain and heartbreak of the past run their life, not love. They're enslaved to the world. You're offering resources as you move forward to free yourself from being enslaved by fear, insecurity, jealousy, envy, competitiveness, revenge. Those things aren't conducive to building your life, and you're letting them go. And as you do that within yourself, you're offering resources to other people who see that you do that in your life, and they're like, how'd they do that? I'm still can't get over whatever. Some people's foundation that they operate from in the Five of Cups is regret. Relationships didn't work out in my past. Because relationships didn't work out in my past, I hold back in relationships. I don't work well together with others. I don't open up. I don't move forward. I keep feeling like desperate. I am unwilling to change. I keep doing things the same way I've done them over and over and over in relationships. And because of that, sometimes a lot of people move away in the Six of Swords. The people who have seen the truth that people who are imprisoned by their own fear, their own insecurities, their own selfishness, their own greed, their own ego, people get in relationships with them, and other people see that this person has either a lot of mental conflict or they have an energy about them of wanting to win at all costs, and they don't care who gets hurt. When we're really super emotionally defensive, so afraid of being hurt, well, we basically hurt. If we get in a romantic relationship with someone, for sure the person we're in a relationship with is going to get hurt. But because those people want to be nurtured or loved, they create this illusion and try to hide that they're fearful and insecure and all this, and they're doomed to hurt the other people in their life because they're so self-consumed. They've never learned how to love and believe in themselves and nurture themselves and build an emotional foundation within themselves so that they feel they can weather emotional storms in their life. I don't know why some people have never, I do think it's a skill, a thing that we have to learn. We grow up as children, hopefully we're in families where people are loving and nurturing and supportive to ourselves, but eventually we need to learn to take over that. And we need to be the one every day in our head who talks to ourselves like a mother and a father and a coach would to their wonderful player in life. And they support them and encourage them and offer them compassion and encouragement and forgiveness and support. We're our only client, and we're our life manager. And if we don't do it, we're going to feel very desperate and codependent on other people to do it for us. And we shouldn't be codependent on other people to do it for us. That's a very disempowered place to be. We need to learn how to love ourselves. Otherwise, we're imprisoned to other people and so codependent on them loving us and encouraging us and supporting us. But when we get in relationships with people like that, we can cling on so tightly, we suffocate them. And we're so fearful and afraid that they're going to move forward because we don't believe we can move forward. And we have a lot of fears and insecurities that if our partner seems to be growing and learning, maturing, the people who are fearful and afraid start to clamp down on them, get bossy and controlling and possessive and abusive. And the people who love themselves say, I'm leaving. I can't live in imprisonment. And until you free yourself from your own fears and insecurities and learn to nurture yourself and believe in yourself like I believe in you, then this isn't moving forward. You can get in relationships with people and provide a loving, nurturing environment. When you are in relationships with some of these people, you harnessed all these energies in a high vibe way. You tempered your fears, your insecurities, your emotional defensiveness, your selfish, greedy nature by being just and fair and loyal and dedicated and committed and creative and inspired and loving. You were listening to your intuition. You were trying to be just and fair, not getting caught up in your fears and insecurities, letting your intuition guide you, picturing your highest self of what's going to make me feel proud of myself later today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years from now. You aspired to live the best version of yourself in this relationship because you knew that it's love that makes dreams come into reality. And you held yourself accountable for your actions. But the person you were with wasn't willing to do that. They operate of pride and ego. They turn their back on harnessing these in a high vibe way, deciding, no, no, no. My dreams will come into reality being emotionally manipulative, maybe bossy, controlling, selfish, greedy, with these loving people in my life. I want to be the pampered person in the relationship. I want to be the indulged person in the relationship. I want to be in denial of the truth that I'm being prideful and greedy and selfish and wanting to be spoiled. I have been hiding that this is how I think I can get my dreams to come into reality, by being prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, bossy, and controlling. And as you keep moving forward, you have your whole life before you, because you're aligned with the divine and aligned with love and truth and justice and character and integrity in your Libra energy. You're speaking your truth. You're standing in your truth. You're cutting out things in your life that aren't aligned with truth, which is love. Treating other people the way that you want to be treated. And you are holding your sword up to people who are more aligned with their worldly, beastly nature. Maybe because they have money and materialism and status and image that they're kind of full of themselves. Some people, the things of the world that they think they're so abundant in could be looks. You know, like, well, if you're not willing to put up with me in the way I am, I'm sure there's someone else who'll put up with me. You know, the people who think that they have money, materialism, status, image, whatever they think they got, looks, and it could all just be in their own head. Who knows? Those people, you are speaking the truth about and holding your sword up to those people, because they're not living their life based on love and truth and honesty and character and integrity. They're basing their life on, look at me, look at the money I have, look at the image I have, look at the clothes I wear, the car I drive, whatever. It's not anything of substance. Those people live more from their mind than their heart. They think they might have the world in their hands because they're the judge, they're the boss, they make the rules in their foundation. Maybe they don't believe that there's any higher authority to listen to, and they are king of the universe, male or female. Maybe they're very prideful and egotistical and full of themselves, because maybe they have money and materialism or status or image. Maybe they think they should be revered. And the fact that you maybe wanted this person to maybe learn and grow and mature themselves. You were trying to be loving and encouraging and supportive. You wanted this person to maybe see life from a higher perspective, and this person could have thought, what? I cannot free myself from my ego. I cannot free myself from making my life about image and status and money and materialism. I have no sense of value other than that. If I were to leave that, I would have deep regret. I must cling to those things. And if you weren't willing to work with them the way they like to work in relationships, they would maybe put work and effort to try to cause you to be in regret if you were holding back from being enslaved by the same things they were being enslaved by. And then they could have had their own idea, because it causes them a lot of mental conflict, that you have dealt with your past pain and heartbreak and regret. You did put in the hard work and effort to free yourself from your own mental conflict, your own ideas of what it means to be successful in the world and look like a shining star. And you said it's more than maybe working at a job or in a friendship group or in a relationship or a marriage that might look successful in the world. But if it's not a deeply loving, open relationship, it's kind of like a resounding gong, hollow. I want more. And you could have offered for this person and provided the environment and was willing to work together with this person. But if they are someone who turns their back in high vibe Capricorn energy to putting in the work and effort, we go from 3 of Pentacles to 4 of Pentacles. They would have to learn a lesson. They would have to add an Ace of Pentacles. And that's about investing time, energy, and effort into learning something. And they would have to learn a lesson about how their regrets of the past have kept them enslaved in emotional defensiveness, pride and ego, fear and insecurity, selfishness, greed, immaturity. And this person said, relationships haven't worked out in my past. I refuse to live in the present moment and align with love and look to the future. I turn my back on putting in the work and effort. I am going to hold back. I am going to cling to doing things the way I've always done it. And instead of being willing to move forward in truth, which is love, to resolve their mental conflict, they had their own idea. And their idea was to say, I guess there is no higher truth to abide by. It's their truth. If they abide by their truth, I kind of think of the King of Swords as people's mind stepping in and saying, we must protect ourselves at all costs. We cannot get hurt. We must protect we can't be emotionally vulnerable. We could get hurt. We have to protect our image and our status. We cannot look at the regrets of the past. And the whole thing is, wouldn't everybody be open and honest and loving and all that stuff if they could? People deal with their issues when they're able to deal with their issues. That's why you don't, a psychiatrist, maybe we could probably go into a psychiatrist's office and babble off some stuff in an hour, and the psychiatrist would be like, yeah, I know what some of your issues are. But they don't, because we'd be in denial. No, that's not me. No, I'm not in denial. No, no, blah, blah. That's why it's like, well, what do you think about that? How do you feel about, basically until we're like, ding, ding, ding. Oh my gosh, I see it. It's like, yes, my child. Yes, grasshopper. You have learned the lesson. Right now there's some people you might know in your life that have to be this way. Either they choose it purposely because they're very self-inflated about themselves and their position in life. But I would say really the underlying root cause is they have a problem with being emotionally open and vulnerable, because relationships haven't worked out in the past. They would have to either speak their truth about their foundation, maybe see that even a foundation that they grew up within that seemed very stable, abundant, maybe even loving, if somehow that relationship, something in it made them feel like love wasn't reciprocated. But if they don't want to speak the truth of it, but that relationship has made them unwilling to move forward with other people, maybe they're just very codependent on a foundation they grew up within for their sense of stability and security. There's still someone who's just very codependent on, they've never learned to venture out on their own, to believe in themselves. Maybe they have people in their foundation or their original family that try to control them and manipulate them and triangulate them, and they've never become independent of those people. Whatever the reason is, these people do what they do for a reason. You know, either they're selfish and greedy, they're very prideful, egotistical, and self centered, or, you know, they don't want to see the truth about themselves and hold a mirror up to their own face. They don't want, some people never want to self reflect. If people got hurt in their past in that Five of Cups at a deep emotional level in Scorpio energy, those people aren't willing to see the truth about people in their past who hurt them. And it has caused them mental conflict because the Six of Swords is moving away from the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is about mental conflict. And if they are not willing to see the truth about people, either how they themselves have imprisoned themselves by operating from pride and ego, which maybe has caused a lot of regrets in relationships, and because they're unwilling to open up and even see the truth about themselves or see the truth about people they interacted with in their lifetime or growing up or their original family, those people decide they must protect this foundation. And if that foundation they operate is more from pride and ego and making decisions more from their mind and their heart, then that is truly, you know, when they get sick and tired of it, they'll make different decisions. And they may never make a different decision. That's why when people show you the truth of who they are, you see that they weighed out the scales, the pros and the cons, and they said, nope, not doing love. Nope, not going to work with you. Nope, not going to treat you the way I would like to be treated. Nope, you know, this person's best friend, they could think, I kind of sometimes think of the King of Swords as narcissistic aspects of people, so protective and defensive because they've never learned to believe in themselves. They're maybe really insecure and they never have dealt with their own insecurities. Well, so long as they never deal with their own fears and insecurities, they're never going to change. They could feel like their best friend is their pride and ego that protects them from being emotionally hurt by others. By living this false persona life where they wear a social mask in the world and they never let their inner child nature, this is Mama Bear, their inner child nature never lets their inner child truth out, well then they can never be hurt. It's all, which is really sad though, because they're living a life of complete imprisonment, a whole life of facade. Look at me, I'm just, I'm fair, I'm stable, I'm whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of like they have never nurtured their own inner nature. That aspect of themselves has been locked in a corner of their brain because for some reason they never learned how to nurture that aspect of themselves, and they don't want to look at it, they don't want to deal with it. You know, it would maybe be destabilizing to their whole foundation to finally let all the grief out or all the pain or all the emotions that they've stuffed down all their life, you know. So their foundation lives in regret about the fact that they never open up. It has them enslaved. But they keep moving forward with the idea that their best friend is their narcissistic persona mask of pride and ego and status and image, and that protects their foundation. And even though they could live a life of heartbreak the rest of their life, maybe from their pride and ego, that's how they're going to live their life. So let it be. Accept the truth. Now, if anybody's learned their lesson, people with the book card would gain insight and wisdom. They have seen that doing life, repeating the same old pattern, causes them pain and heartbreak. They have maybe seen other people in their life learn and grow and befriend their loving nature, mother their inner inner child nature, who have freed themselves from past regrets and put in the work and effort to move forward in truth and honesty and admit they're a fallible human being who's made mistakes, and they're willing to admit that other people in their past who hurt them were fallible human beings who made mistakes, and those people got over their emotional defensiveness and pride and ego and pain and heartbreak about it, to be someone who has the world at their hands because they've aligned with love. And if anybody has seen people like that living their life that way, and they've decided they want to live their life that way, they're finally maybe willing to put in some work and effort to educate themselves about, even the book of their own life, to educate themselves about how they have betrayed and sabotaged themselves and pushed away loving people in their life because they didn't feel adequate enough, they didn't believe in themselves, they had fear and insecurity of being emotionally vulnerable. And if any of those people are willing to say, I'm tired of it, those people will temper their prideful, egotistical nature to get balance within themselves and put in the hard work and effort to take some creative, inspired action to tap into their emotions and their intuition to believe in themselves. And when they do that, they get more connected in with their intuition. And their intuition would tell them, you can have your dreams come into reality if you take some bold, creative action in your life. We don't deserve to be enslaved. We can't live in the past anymore. The past is over. Called judgment on the past. Maybe there was a Leo mother in their past, or a mother figure, or someone they loved who acted prideful and egotistical in their past, who kind of put them in two minds about things. And it confused them about what love was, because someone when they grew up with was kind of prideful, egotistical, maybe materialistic, maybe used money in a manipulative way or things like that. But yet you love that person, and it confuses you. It's like, sometimes people maybe have a hard time dealing with their dualistic feelings that they have about someone they love. And instead of dealing with the conflicting feelings they have, I love you, I don't like you, I love you, this makes me mad. Some people just kind of can't deal with those conflicting dualistic feelings, or they feel guilty or shame about it. It can make them, because then they're confused about people who they perceived as being loving, it makes them hide from taking creative action to have their dreams come into reality, because they kind of fear people and distrustful of people being loving if people from their own past weren't loving. But if any of those people are kind of willing to tap into their dreams and listen to their intuition, temper their prideful nature, their fearful nature, and start working from an emotional foundation within themselves to be nicer and kinder in their own head to themselves, then maybe they could learn and grow and deal with some of their regrets of the past, and maybe hold back from moving forward with some people in their life or their mind that tries to get them to align more with pride and ego and money and materialism. And it's like, I don't want to live my life like that. That is choice B. But choice A is to quit. We're always going to be in mental conflict as long as we don't build our life on love, and love ourselves and believe in ourselves and be nice and kind to ourselves. Like I say, every day you can step outside and have everybody insulting you and cutting you down and whatever. We don't control any of those people. The one person we can control is ourselves. And it's like, if there's going to be one person in the world who every day is going to be nice and compassionate and encouraging and supportive and forgiving of me for being the fallible human being I am on this life journey that's very difficult, it's going to be me. And when people learn that lesson, that's when they're willing to stand up for their own foundation and say, bring it on, world. I am going to live the life I want to live, and I don't care what you think about what I wear or what I drive or the mistakes I make in my life. I don't care. How many mistakes did it make to take the light bulb? I'm glad they gave it the 1,000 or 3,000 times because I'm really glad we have light bulbs. It's hard work to believe in ourselves and love ourselves and encourage ourselves every day. But if we want to have the life of our dreams come into reality that we deserve to do that for ourselves. And hopefully there would be some people who would free themselves. The people who do move forward in their life and speak their truth and stand in their truth are, I think, going to have very stable, just, fair, truthful, honest, loving relationships in their life, because that's what they invest their time, energy, and effort, and that's what they put out in the world, and we reap what we sow. And I think there's going to be some people in the world who are going to be heartbroken as they watch those people move forward in their life, because they are probably right now either going to align with their more stubborn, prideful, egotistical nature, or they're going to make an offer to work with other people who are in the same kind of page of life where they are. And they're going to move forward living life the way they both live life, which is more of a materialistic life operating from pride and ego because of pain and heartbreak. And just different strokes for different folks. So keep moving forward. There could be some of you, if you are not in a relationship, because for some of you, this person not moving forward with you could be a parent, a child, a sibling, a friend, a coworker, and you and your love relationship and all your people in your life that are high vibe are all moving forward. If any of you are single, some of you listening to your intuition, you know for a fact that the people you're going to be enjoying spending time with are people who are loving and warm, because you're not going to be investing your time, effort, and energy in people who aren't. So it's a kind of a given that if people do come into your life that you work with, they're going to be the loving, warm, authentic people. Some of you might be in a relationship with a Leo right now that you're working with, But you're going to be moving forward in truth, freeing yourself from some people that you worked with in your past. For some of you, a Capricorn, you have regrets that that relationship didn't work out, but you are holding back from that person because that person, to move forward with them would be to move forward in a relationship with people who are like emotionally cold and detached, who are stubborn, who are prideful, egotistical, who make mind over heart decisions. And you don't want to be in relationships with people like that. So you are moving forward with people who speak the truth, who have put in work and effort to have their foundation aligned with love. People who have been emotionally strong to find balance between their heart and their mind, so they no longer have inner conflict. They work together with this dualistic nature that, yes, we do want to attain the things, our lust, our wants, our greed. We have our human nature, but they offset that and temper it in their Leo nature to temper that with love and compassion and character and integrity. And those are the people you're going to move forward with. So there you go, Taurus energy. You didn't actually particularly show up here, but it's all about relationships. Is our best friend people who align with pride and ego, fear and insecurity, addiction, indulgence? Or are our best friends people who are loving, warm, supportive, encouraging, who come from a foundation of love, who aren't trying to emotionally manipulate us, aren't trying to control us, aren't trying to dominate over us, aren't trying to get us to indulge them and make them the center of our world? You know, people have free will. So there you go, Taurus energies of the world. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.